about 45 projects that were formerly hosted on the Terra blockchain, moving over to Polygon. And just like background for people who might not be up to speed, Terra was the blockchain that TerraUSD was on. That experienced a death spiral because it was a fake algorithmic stablecoin, Ponzi, magic, alchemy, bootstrap, faker. I could come up with other words. But while that was kind of the core function, there were other things built on the Luna blockchain. People believed the hype, and they not only bought the tokens, they actually built NFT platforms, DEXs. I mean, I don't know exactly what all of these are, but you know, there are different distributed apps that are on a blockchain. And after Luna crashed, all of those apps also were taken down, which when I wrote my article back in late April about the worries before the actual collapse, that was one of the real things, is that everything goes if UST goes. But Polygon stood up a $20 million fund to help some of these projects that have been left in the lurch by Luna transition to a new chain. And it's great. I mean, there's consolidation, there's the flexibility of blockchains, the interoperability, lots to talk about here. Jen, you got, what are your thoughts about the aftermath of the Luna collapse?
I'll take it away. Yeah, no, I thought this was a really positive story and a nice reminder. You know, we spent so much of our time talking about the mass amount of funds that have been lost and companies going under, companies becoming insolvent and liquidating. But I thought this was a really nice reminder that there is still money in the ecosystem, and that money is going towards builders and people with great ideas. We've spoken a lot about a few funds that have popped up over the last few months, regardless of the state of the markets. And if you're a builder, developer, and you have an interesting project, now is the time to bring that to life, and there is money out there. So it's not all doom and gloom, and that's what I took away from the story. Will, what do you got?
Yeah, I take it a little bit of a different way. To me, this speaks to the failure to transition to Luna 2.0. The fact that a lot of these people, these devs, are looking to build on an entire different network, right? They're not going to play around. Do Kwon's still around. Like, he's still tweeting. He's still messing with people too. He's still kind of being an asshole online. Even though he just like destroyed so many people's lives, he's still doing his thing. People have had enough of it, and they're going to move to different chains. They don't want to be associated with Terra at all. And for Terra 2.0 to work, they're going to need other projects to survive on that network. Doesn't seem like that's going to happen, right? That people have lots of different options for things they want to build on. Polygon has a pretty great name out there. They have a lot of tooling. They have a lot of devs. They have a really nice ecosystem. It's one of the largest chains in terms of volume. It makes sense why people would go to it. And there's a lot of different alternatives. And that's the whole issue with Do Kwon's spin or move to try to like pin the whole collapse as something else than what it was, which was a failed Ponzi. He's trying to spin it off as like an opportunity to rebuild the network and rebuild using other projects, other dApps. That's not going to work, right? People have had enough. They're going to move somewhere else. And there's lots of alternatives. I can list like 5 off the top of my head. People can go to, and there's a lot of money to pick those people off also, right? We've seen a few of those stories so far where people have opened up dev grants or just opportunity funds to pick up these developers from the Terra ecosystem. And so that's really where you see the entire death knell of an ecosystem, is where the devs stop building on your chain and they go somewhere else. I think it just really speaks to the disingenuous nature of Do Kwon and also the flop that is Terra 2.0. Wendy, I'll give it to you though for last thoughts.
You know, unfortunately, Do Kwon is not a nice person from what we've seen, but it is good to see that these projects that are really trying to do right by their community go to a different chain and try to do the best that they can with what that they're given. So I applaud them for that. It has to be absolutely tragic and hard, and it's just a really shitty thing, a really, really, really shitty, terrible thing to see. But at least they're doing the best that they can, and it seems that the Matic community, our Polygon team, does care, and they are trying to kind of, you know, they gave $20 million for the dev fund. So overall, I think it's a positive aspect, but who knows if those projects are going to be made whole again. Fingers crossed that they are for their communities.